Viewers, welcome to Stirafrika, and of course, AM Reports, an hour where we get to x-ray the current situations in the country, in Africa at large. Today, I'm playing host to a public commentator and, of course, a social activist who is joining us here on the studio of Young Basi. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us. Let's look at the state of the nation. The CBN policy is causing a lot of chaos in the system. People, businesses are suffering, entrepreneurs are finding it very hard to strive. What is your analysis so far from when CBN brought in this policy to stay?
Okay, first of all, it's a mentality problem. So when I say it's a mentality problem, Nigerians should know that when government policies are being made, that government policies are not made against the people. Okay. Government policies are for the betterment of the people. So when they gave a deadline that on the 31st of January,
last month,
that this money should no longer be a legal tender in Nigeria. From December, the money was going. Nigerians, when I say mentality problem,
people were thinking that
it's not going to be serious. So few days, there was scarcity of old notes and scarcity of new notes, because Nigerians like rush hour and deadline. So already it created a chaos in the banking system and also created an artificial scarcity of the notes. There are a lot of people that will be going to the bank to withdraw this amount of money to keep in their houses. Someone took 500,000 naira cash.
The new naira?
Old notes.
Okay, old notes, okay.
500,000 naira old notes to the bank to get 500,000 naira new notes. Governments are saying
you cannot.
It's not possible. They want you to put 500,000 naira cash in your account and explore other alternatives. So if you want to check the ABC of the policy is okay. But the focus of the policy, it is not even supposed to be like, we are not supposed to put our energy on this, because the amount of money that the federal government money in circulation is 46 trillion.
The money so far that has been circulated?
46 trillion is 46 trillion naira. Then the money, according to central bank statistics, over 2 trillion naira is in circulation. So if you have 2 trillion naira cash in circulation, meanwhile 46 have been printed. So 2 trillion naira is in circulation. That means it is 6%. 6% of what the central bank are fighting for. Meanwhile, the country, Nigeria, federal government is owing central bank 24 trillion naira. So even though this policy comes to play and this policy works totally 100%, it will not solve the problem of Nigeria. It will not solve the problem of Nigeria, because first, central bank, if you want to reduce the level of inflation, central bank has by the CBN Act is not supposed to borrow federal government money. If central bank is supposed to borrow federal government money, it's supposed to be 10% of revenue generated in Nigeria. So if you want to check in the past 5 years, Nigerian revenue has not been more than 4 trillion. So if central bank wants to borrow Nigeria money, let's just say it's supposed to borrow Nigeria like 500 billion. But now Nigeria is owing central bank 24 trillion. So when you minus 24 trillion with the 46 trillion, just 2 trillion is outside. Because central bank are printing money to borrow federal government. So when you don't have enough money in the foreign reserves, there will be inflation.
Analysis is beautiful there, but the central bank came out, or was it 2 weeks ago, to say that they have given each branches of bank about 30 million naira based on this analysis. Now, if these banks, I mean, if this cash that was released to the different branches of banks, are they really in circulation to the masses? Or is it that the idea that some people, some politicians, people are coming out with claims that some politicians are still doing some relationship with some bank managers to get in stock with this new era? Because if the 30 million naira, for instance, is being circulated, it would have gone around.
Gone wrong. The case is, let's use the case of the petroleum in comparative analysis with this money. You see people that have no business with cash queuing in ATMs just because they want to. There is so much money to make. If you have 20,000 naira cash now, the first thing that comes to your mind is a mentality problem. That how much can I make from this 20,000 naira cash? So I will go outside, go spend my time to see how much to gain. So from there is a serious traffic. So people cannot access funds. So if central bank, the case is it's just implementation issue. Yeah. If central bank before now call for a quick intervention meeting with commercial banks, update your system. Let's explore other options. How can we reduce this cash at hand? Nigerians who want to go cashless policy, but what are the fastest means to improve the network system? So if I want to pay 100 naira for transportation, I will just go to the keke guy. How can I pay? Because you don't want us to use cash. Naira scarcity. So let's see which other means can we use. Let the banking system be creative.
I was coming to that. Now we've noticed that CBN, as you said, did not have a proper structure before this policy was implemented. About last week, people were finding it very difficult to do transfers. This is the fact that maybe the network system wasn't updated to get a lot of traffic, because moving us from having cash to be doing, transactions, digital transactions, requires that almost every Nigerians are on the app. So when there's a traffic, that means the banks were not ready to have this massive traffic. So don't you think that CBN needed time to adjust it so that maybe things were needed to be done before this policy can be implemented?
Okay, the case is cashless policy did not start now. Cashless policy did not start now. So even when when they redesigned Nigeria from paper to poly, so we're moving to the cashless policy. The level of using teller to pay in money reduced. People were now using codes. From 2012, people were now using code. 2015, people started using apps, bank app, mobile apps. So before, my dad would say, go to the bank and deposit money. It reduced. So the cashless policy was growing gradually. So when you try now to force the cashless policy on every Nigerian, it will be a problem, because everybody will want to be on the app. And are the banks ready? So you want to check. Nigerian banks are almost everywhere in Africa, to show you that how reliable our banking sector is. So apart from it is one of the things that we can brag of in Nigeria, that you could go to this bank, Zenith Bank, you see Nigerian banks are everywhere. To show you that our banking system is updated. But now, if you're having with a population of 260 million people, like the most populous black nation. So at this point, you see people trying to use their apps, trying to transfer a lot of massive traffic, and they might also be a conspiracy if the banking system don't really want funds tracking. You can see some bank might start developing faults just to make sure to hinder the efforts of CBN.
So it's a calculated attempt.
It's a probability. The probability. So central bank is a structured place. If I normally read their annual reports. So before they came with this policy, they have done the analysis and they have done their major findings, and they recommended this to Nigerians. But what are the implications?
This is an issue that, of course, has generated crisis where people are blaming central bank, and of course, commercial banks are suffering from the effect of it, where people are going in to destroy so many commercial banks across the cities. And now let's look at the situation of the market. You know, the people that are selling tomatoes, the perishable goods, are actually suffering because, as I said, Nigerians have tried to adjust over the week now. People who want to maybe go to a particular place, use boat, Uber, and all of that, which you can easily transfer at the end of the journey. But people that are selling at the market women, people in the village, are the one that we should be considerate at this point, because people don't have the cash to go buy stuff from them. And these are the people that don't have banks accounts. These are the people that don't have POS in their disposal. Don't you think this is having massive effect on Nigeria agricultural system, because perishable goods are gotten from the farm?
So that's why I said the case is it will be very difficult to access cash, because there's serious traffic to get cash. So the market women will suffer. So it is supposed to be a thing that central bank are supposed, before the 100%, let me just use it, 96% Nigerians should go cashless policy, and we 4% we can get cash. So you're supposed to think about the implication of this. But Nigerians already are causing serious traffic. Serious traffic. If you go to the ATM, you see a lot of people, and I will tell you, according to my analysis, 76% are POS agents. So they are there to get cash, to see how much they can make from it. So people that are supposed to get cash to do their transaction, even when the cashless policy started, when the cashless policy was moving from 2014, 2013, 2015-16, the queues in the ATM reduced. The cashless policy is supposed to even reduce the queue in the ATM. People stop going to the ATM.
People stop going to banks.
You see people going to the POS queue, and it created jobs for people. But now it is not working. So the case is, what is supposed to? Central bank are supposed to come out to see how to curb this issue, to see how they can also carry our locals. People in the village that don't have access to good network, access to good phones, to see.
Even the banks are not closer in the villages.
So it's still a problem of us. It's still a problem of us, because they said maximum amount to withdraw in a day is 20,000. In a week, 100,000. So in a month, you can withdraw 400,000. So an average Nigeria does not need 400,000 naira cash to spend in a month. An average Nigeria doesn't need 400,000 naira cash to spend in a month. But the case is, people who queue there to be getting this money to keep in their houses. They don't have business for the money. They just want to keep it, because it's just like fuel. There's no fuel. You carry your car, put it here. You carry gallon, you put it here. You just take the fuel. You go buy 100 liters, keep it in your house, and you see a lot of queue. You be calling your friends. There's fuel scarcity. That is the problem. It is just
Nigerians are part of a problem.
Yes, it's just a Nigerian thing.
It is a wish that Nigerians will get to cooperate with the system, where we can actually give a support to the policy that have, of course, been introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria. And, of course, so that we can get back a system where it's working for everybody, including the locals in the markets, in the villages, and all of that. So, as we go into the elections, what is the final words to Nigerians, irrespective of this cash scarcity?
Okay, when we're going to the election, anybody who comes out and tells Nigerians, when I'm president, it will be very easy, don't vote that person. It will not be easy. Anybody that comes out to say, it will be easy, it will not be easy. It will not be easy, because the system already has failed us. So, 2040, our population will be 400 million. how much is Nigeria getting? We are already owing central bank 24 trillion. The amount of money we make from revenue is about 2.4. Then our debt service is 2 point something. So we use the money we generate to service the debt and still borrow to pay salaries, to do projects and that. So our children yet unborn
will
inherit it. So we'll suffer. So anybody that's coming to the system to be a solution, he should try to prepare us that we are supposed to take some steps that would discomfort Nigeria. It is not going to be, we don't need a magician, somebody that will come in here to say, I'll come and perform magic in the next 24 hours, Nigeria will start working. It will not happen. It will not happen. 2011, we were getting 60 trillion. Now, how much are we getting from oil? 2. From 60 to 2. So it is
oil is not serving us again.
It's not serving. So anybody coming in. So as we are going there to vote, we should vote for capacity, credibility, and competence. That is what I will urge Nigeria from the local government, state level, and the national. The president cannot do it alone.
And the structures.
The president cannot do it alone. If you want to talk about from the micro down to the from the macro down to the micro, how many states in Nigeria are producing? How many states are generating revenue? How many states can survive without federal allocation? So it is the critical time that Nigerians, it will affect everybody. It will affect me, it will affect you. Just one central bank policy is affecting the entire country. One central bank policy. One policy is affecting the whole nation. So when we don't go out there to cast our vote and vote for someone credible,
that can bring good policies.
Good policies. So imagine 10 bad policies.
Nigerians will die. It's a very interesting time with Ofe Mbasi, who is a public commentator on the state of the nation, and of course his analysis on the current situations of cash scarcity has given birth to the fact that we Nigerians are part of the problem. That has been his focus. So collectively, we should get Nigeria better by going out on Saturday to cast a vote to the man who has capacity, according to him, and the competency to take Nigeria to the El Dorado. Thank you for joining us. Till we come your way again next time.
Thank you.